He started on a humble farm with no money, no mentors, and no idea what life could become, until one encounter changed everything. From rock bottom to inspiring millions, this is the untold journey of Jim Rohn. What if one thought, one decision could change your entire destiny? From farm fields to global influence, the story of Jim Rohn. Early life and humble beginnings. Emmanuel James Jim Rohn was born on September 17, 1930, in Yakima, Washington, to Clara and Emmanuel Rohn, hardworking farmers who later settled in Caldwell, Idaho. Growing up as an only child on a modest farm during the Great Depression and its aftermath, Jim was no stranger to discipline, labor, and simplicity. His childhood was a testament to the core American values of self-reliance, integrity, and grit. He learned early on that success was a direct result of the effort you put in and the character you developed. His parents' daily toil wasn't just about survival, it was a living example of responsibility and perseverance, qualities that would later become the bedrock of his teachings. Although not academically inclined, Jim's thirst for knowledge was insatiable. After dropping out of college after just 1 year, he dedicated himself to a rigorous program of self-education. He became an avid reader, devouring books on philosophy, history, and personal development. He studied the Stoics like Aristotle, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, whose ideas on virtue, discipline, and personal responsibility deeply influenced his worldview. He began to see that the lessons from the farm, like the principle of sowing and reaping, were not just agricultural concepts but universal laws applicable to all areas of life. The turning point: meeting a mentor. In the early 1950s, Jim found himself stuck in a job as a human resource manager at Sears. It paid the bills, but it left him feeling unfulfilled and directionless. He was 25 years old and deeply frustrated with his lack of progress. His financial situation was dire, and he felt like he was watching his life pass by. Everything changed one evening when a friend invited him to a lecture by John Earl Showoff, a charismatic entrepreneur and successful businessman. That night, something clicked. Showoff's message was simple yet revolutionary. You don't have to accept your circumstances. Your life is a direct result of your decisions, and you have the power to change it. Inspired by Showoff's philosophy, Jim joined his direct selling company, Abunda Vida, as a distributor. This was the pivotal moment that launched his career. Later, he moved to NutriBio, where Showoff and other founders took him under their wing. Under their direct guidance, Jim learned the essential principles of business, leadership, and personal growth. He applied these lessons with an unshakable work ethic forged on the farm, quickly building one of the largest and most successful organizations in the company. By the age of 31, a mere 6 years after his life-changing encounter with Showoff, Jim Rohn had become a self-made millionaire. However, success wasn't linear. The company faced challenges, and by the age of 33, Jim had lost everything. He was back at rock bottom, but this time, he was armed with a philosophy. Instead of retreating into despair, he used the setback as fuel to rebuild, not just his wealth, but his entire life philosophy. He realized that the greatest value wasn't in the wealth itself, but in the person he had become in the process of achieving it. The rise of a thought leader. After NutriBio folded, Jim was invited to share his story at a Rotary Club meeting in Beverly Hills. He spoke about his journey from a struggling farm boy to a millionaire and back again, sharing the simple, profound principles he had learned. His story and insights captivated the audience. That single talk led to a flood of invitations, and in 1963, he gave his first official public seminar at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Jim Rohn had found his calling. Over the next few decades, he traveled extensively, delivering seminars on personal development, leadership, and entrepreneurship. His speaking style was a masterclass in simplicity and storytelling. He distilled complex ideas into actionable principles, often using folksy humor and anecdotes from his own life. His core teachings, which he presented with a calm conversational tone, emphasized self-discipline, the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Goal setting, the power of having a clear vision and a plan to achieve it. Time management, the idea that you must master your time or risk being a slave to it. Financial literacy, understanding that you must learn to manage your money well to live a full and happy life. Character development, the belief that who you become is far more important than what you get. He famously said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better," a quote that perfectly encapsulated his philosophy of personal responsibility and relentless self-improvement. Mentoring the mentors, Jim's influence extended far beyond the thousands of people who attended his seminars. He became known as the quote to the mentors, directly influencing some of the most iconic figures in personal development today. Tony Robbins, who credits Jim as a foundational influence, first saw Rohn speak in his early 20s. Robbins was so inspired that he joined Rohn's organization and began working for him, learning directly from the master. Rohn's teachings provided the framework for much of Robbins' own coaching. particularly the emphasis on the power of choice and the importance of taking massive action. Similarly, authors Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, as well as renowned speakers like Brian Tracy, Darren Hardy, and T. Harv Eker, all credit Rohn for shaping their foundational beliefs and career paths. His teachings became the blueprint for countless coaches, authors, and entrepreneurs who went on to inspire millions in their own right. Books, media, and philosophy. Jim authored and co-authored numerous books and programs, including classics like The Art of Exceptional Living and 7 Strategies for Wealth and Happiness. His audio and video programs, such as Take Charge of Your Life and The Day That Turns Your Life Around, are still widely circulated, serving as a timeless resource for a new generation of seekers. Jim's philosophy was rooted in simple, timeless principles. He believed that life is best lived in service to others, and that integrity is non-negotiable. He taught that you always reap more than you sow, a principle he first learned on the farm. He believed hard work is never a waste, and that risk is essential for growth. He viewed failure not as a dead end, but as a stepping stone toward a better future, a perspective born from his own journey of losing and rebuilding his fortune. Legacy and final years. Jim Rohn passed away on December 5, 2009, from pulmonary fibrosis at the age of 79. He was laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. But his legacy lives on. His teachings continue to inspire millions around the world, from entrepreneurs building new ventures to individuals seeking to improve their daily lives. His quotes are etched into journals, vision boards, and keynote speeches, and his life story is a testament to the power of personal transformation, resilience, and intentional living. Jim Rohn's journey from a farm boy in Idaho to a global thought leader is more than inspirational, it's instructional. He didn't just teach success, he lived it, lost it, and rebuilt it with purpose. His story reminds us that greatness isn't born, it's cultivated. Through mentorship, discipline, and a commitment to growth, anyone can rise above their circumstances and leave a legacy that echoes through generations.